Welcome to the Disneyland Forever podcast, your source for all things from the happiest place on earth. For more updates, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Disneyland Forever, and you can check out our website, disneylandforever.com. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
It's Jordan.
And Daniel.
And, I know, again, this is like a non-Disney related thing.
I love Tusky.
Yes, we are very excited because for those who don't know, our Utah Mammoth made it into the Stanley Cup playoffs, and they're actually in a somewhat good spot.
Yep.
Maybe they'll lose in round one, don't care.
And we have the best mascot.
Yeah. So anyway, we're kind of on cloud nine from that. It was actually just like a really positive week on a lot of levels.
Yes.
So very happy about that. I mean, for some reason it's gonna snow for some reason tomorrow. I don't understand.
Our weather's usually bipolar with that, but
it would be normal if the rest of the spring had been the way it's supposed to be, but it's not. So whatever. But we also, on Disney related stuff, we went to our first. I mean, it was a Lorcana tournament, but it's
not like one of those huge.
It was just like league play.
Yeah.
There was 9 of us there, but it was actually kind of fun.
It was a little stressful starting off because I'm like, how is this going to work?
Well, we both got trounced our first game too,
yes.
which didn't help. But then I ended up winning the last 2.
Yeah,
you won the last
one.
I
won one. Yeah.
But we had a while ago some friends of ours who are really big Lorcana people got us into it. Kind of got us. Well, got you mostly addicted because we have way too many cards for people who have never really played against people
I
we
loved
don't know.
Magic as a kid and baseball cards, so it was a foregone conclusion to be addicted.
Well, I didn't know any of that, so I guess that actually now makes a little bit more sense why we have binders upon binders of these cards. But it is a fun game, and we do enjoy it. So that was kind of a fun little adventure that we went on. Which
Indeed,
was good. We enjoyed that.
You said that was not Disney related.
No, I said about the hockey.
Oh.
And then I said getting back into Disney related stuff.
Okay.
Yes. So that's been our week. It's been a lot of fun. We have enjoyed it. For this week's episode, what we wanted to do is we wanted to go over some of the worst advice we've ever heard people give when it comes to Disneyland trip planning and why we think that it is the worst advice ever.
Yes. Some people may disagree with us, but that's okay.
And I think for most of these things, there are times where this could be true, but it's just too overreaching.
Yeah, not a blanket statement.
Yeah,
for sure.
And so that's what we're going to be going over. We do want to start with a new review, and you were very excited to see this one.
Yes, because it's long. I like long ones.
No, again, we don't need them to be long.
It doesn't have to be, but it just...
We've had the ones where it just said, love you guys. Or something
you guys are
great.
Cool.
Yay.
Woo. It's from Dweghorst. They said, love this podcast. I found this podcast while sitting in the Texas heat, daydreaming.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've been there. It's hot and humid. Daydreaming about getting back to my happy place in Southern California. I was craving some solid Disney content, and I absolutely struck gold. Over the past few months, I've worked my way through the entire Spotify catalog, about 1.5 years worth and 60 plus hours, not that I'm counting. Jordan and Daniel's passion for Disneyland is infectious, and their banter makes every episode feel effortless and fun. You can tell they truly love the park and sharing this podcast together. Each episode delivers a perfect mix of news, smart tips, and insider perspective that gets even the most seasoned Disney fan excited to plan their next trip. Their back and forth is what really seals it, though. It feels less like a podcast and more like sitting around a table with friends who just love Disney. So many people say that.
I'm glad, though.
Yeah. At this point, I'm fully invested. When they dropped the episode announcing they'd become Club 33 members, I literally smiled and let out a little celebratory shout on my flight. I think I told you about this.
I think you've read this when it came through, yeah.
To you. Pretty sure I earned a few confused looks from fellow passengers. This podcast has brought this Disney dad a ton of joy. It keeps the magic alive between trips and gives me new ideas every time I listen. I'll be tuning in as long as they're recording, always learning, always planning, always looking forward to the next family visit. Thanks, Jordan and Daniel. P.S. If you ever launch a Take a Listener to Club 33 contest, I'm ready. Unfortunately, we are not allowed to do that.
Yeah, fun fact, we actually can't do that.
We would if we could.
We would be promptly kicked out.
Yep.
So... but yeah, when it came to that one paragraph, you've read this when it came through, and it made us smile then. It's making us smile now.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Hope you're still listening.
I'm pretty sure they will.
Maybe.
Except for after the Walties, I don't know.
I don't know.
That was special.
Okay. But yeah, thank you guys so much. We really do appreciate this. It makes us smile. Helps us. We really appreciate that you guys reach out and let us know about these sorts of things. Also, so something that someone had mentioned to me online a little while ago, and I just wanted to let you guys know. Any of you that live in Utah, we'll try to do better. Like, there's a whole Utah Disney creator community in Utah that we try. We used to be really good.
Yeah, they used to have more activities.
Doing activities for everybody, and I think people just kind of let it slide a little bit. But we all kind of want to do a little bit better about hosting things, and when we do that, we open it up to whomever. So just keep an eye out. We'll let you know on like Instagram and stuff. We're actually trying to plan another trivia night. I need to talk to you about dates today. She got back to me about dates.
Dates don't taste very good. I don't like the taste of them.
I like dates.
They're okay.
I like them.
Oh, you mean calendar dates? Got it.
I thought you were going to get into an Indiana Jones reference, so now you've let me down.
I know.
So
bad.
Yeah,
dates.
we will let you know about those sorts of things, because they were just asking like how better ways to get together with other really crazy Disney people. I'm like, well, we can help you out around Utah.
We're
and
not
that's about
crazy.
It.
I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
Is that supposed to be a quote of something? Because you're almost quoting something, but you're very
Frozen,
much not.
Right?
Frozen 2, but she doesn't say it like that.
Well, that's my
crazy.
modus.
Are you saying you think I'm
crazy?
Anyway.
My modus operandi is to sort of quote things.
You get the gist.
I get the gist of them. I don't get them verbatim. You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, you would say the frigid temperatures have never really been a big problem for me. That's about it. That's a running joke for us. Anyway, so thank you guys who have reached out, who have left ratings and reviews. If you haven't done so, please do so. We do appreciate it. You can leave us a 5-star rating, please 5 stars, on Apple, Spotify, or Audible, and then a 5-star review on Apple.
And if you are as crazy as this listener that left the review,
it does not have to be long.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
No, I'm saying if you go to like the weird podcast websites or platforms, you can actually listen to our oldest episodes if you're that crazy too.
The mainstream platforms,
they limit out at 100.
Yeah, but then the other ones that are not as mainstream, like I think including iHeartRadio and stuff like that.
What's ours? Podbean or something?
Podbean is ours, and then they can listen to the whole library that is there. Don't know why you'd want to go that far back, because we have said repeatedly, our first episode, Well,
I didn't even know I was supposed to talk.
I asked you like literally
words.
5 minutes before I hit record, because I was like, I'm not doing this by myself.
And I was like, I don't want to.
But I'm glad.
So much for that banter in between. That would not have worked out well had we kept up that way.
I know. We don't have like hardly any news to share. It has been oddly quiet at the happiest place on earth. So really the only things are they have debuted new celebration pins that you can pick up, like the ones, happy birthday, happy anniversary, things that. I'm celebrating. They have new ones now, and these ones are
in Espanol.
Yeah. So that's actually kind of fun.
Really cool.
I appreciate that.
They look a little different too.
They look extremely different, and I have not seen any of them that were in English. So I think they are just for the ones who speak Spanish, which I think that's awesome. Because if you hadn't noticed, there's a large Spanish-speaking population that comes to Disneyland. The only other thing is that they did tease what Han Solo is going to look like when he arrives in Galaxy's Edge for meet and greets starting April 29th. For those of you who do not remember, they are officially changing the timeline of Galaxy's Edge. It was stuck. The whole thing was permanently set between episodes 8 and 9. And now, depending on what part of Galaxy's Edge you're in, it's going to be in a different era of Star Wars. And so that's why Han Solo will now be there.
Timelines don't exist anymore.
I don't blame them for it, because
it makes more sense to me.
This is the reason why Darth Vader has never been in Galaxy's Edge, and it's because he wouldn't make sense in that timeline. Now, they might figure out a way to get Darth Vader into... Actually, they said he's one of the characters they're going to bring in. And so then they can move Star Wars out of Tomorrowland almost entirely.
Maybe it's like we're in a singularity where time doesn't exist.
Or we can just not think that hard about all this.
It's a black hole.
It's
a black spire.
No, we're just going to have fun.
No, singularity. Physics is cool. Free the proletariat. Or something.
What does the proletariat have to do with anything? Anyway.
Viva la revolution. There we go. You cannot silence me, Jordan.
Do you hear the people saying? Anyway, that's it. That's all the news we have. So like I said, it's been really quiet. I guess we can also add in there that if you are looking for Disneyland After Dark tickets, they are still available. Disney Channel Night is now done. I think it had mostly positive reviews.
Was it full?
I don't know if it was ever full, but I know there was one food review I saw online that I was like, well, duh, I could have told you that wasn't going to be exciting. They said that the mini donuts with the toasted marshmallow skewers that are covered in chocolate, they said they were lackluster at best.
Well, it's just a s'more.
And that this marshmallow was stuck to the paper.
Oh, oopsie.
They had to, or the serving tray, where they had to scrape it off. I'm like, yeah, they didn't think
well, that's sticky.
They said it was mostly positive reviews. So that's nice, at least. But those tickets are still available for the other 2 After Dark events that are coming up, as far as I know. So, yay. That's it for news. That's out. So we can get into the main event here, which is, again, this is the worst advice we've heard. And in some of these instances, like it's literally we've heard people, we do listen to other people in the parks. We like to listen to other conversations that are going on.
We like to eavesdrop. It's fun. And sometimes interject if people are giving their families bad advice or asking
just
a question.
outright wrong.
Yep. Like, no.
That's actually not what happens. We're the unsolicited advice people that are like, sorry, not sorry. So some of these things are sometimes in the park, sometimes just other people we've heard talk about parks.
Or online advice or stuff.
And so just the worst advice and why we think it's the worst. So first thing is basically anything we've heard along the lines of you shouldn't go to Disneyland if you don't have kids, or you shouldn't go to Disneyland if your
unless
kids...
unless they're like 5.
Unless they're like 7, I think is usually what they say. Unless they're like 7, 8, or 9.
Because they're not going to remember it. Yes, they will. They'll have positive things that will go into their hippocampus.
My thought about it is, because there's some people like, that's not for your child that you're going for you. And personally, I'm like,
okay,
is that a problem? Like,
some people think so, but no.
We have some of our friends with their little kids. They've gone when they were so tiny, they're never going to remember this. But guess what? The parents will remember it forever.
And yeah, the parents dote on the kids. Like they buy little cute things for them. And
yes, it is for the parent.
Yeah.
Let them have their moment. If you want to take your little one to Disneyland, then do it.
As Walt Disney said, some sort of wording.
I'm waiting to hear this.
Disneyland's for everyone. For all ages and peoples and things.
Is this your version of the Disneyland dedication speech?
Probably. He probably said something similar to that. Again, I don't quote well. But for the gist of it is, yes, Disneyland's for everyone. It's not just for kids.
Yeah, and so also when they're like, why would you go if you don't have kids? Or we literally have people them say like, these stupid people who don't have kids, they're the problem. That's why Disneyland is so crowded. I'm like, I'm sorry that people want to go have fun. I don't know what your problem is.
They don't want you to have fun.
So yes, it is for literally anybody. And we could say literally everybody because the kids are not going around and getting beers.
They better not. They may try, but...
So I think that's the quintessential reasoning why it is for everyone.
Mom, take me back on that ride. What'd you say to me? Get out of my way. Another piece of advice that may be wrong, it depends, is people will say you must rope drop every day or you're not going to get anything done. Although we do advise rope dropping is great, you don't have to. If part of your schedule is that you are not a morning person or you have so many kids to try to get there or you have to like drive forever, you can still get things done, but it's not like an absolute. So
yeah. Again, like he said, we're not saying rope dropping is a bad idea. What we're saying is that if you just feel it's not for you, that doesn't mean you're not going to get anything done for the trip. Like we've already had a conversation because we're going to Disneyland on Sunday and we're going to be meeting up with some other friends. And for Tyler and TJ, we've already told them they're not morning people. And
I'm not either, but I am a Disney morning person.
And they've said that they don't generally rope drop. And we're like, okay. And we told them already, we will leave you in the hotel.
Yes.
And we will go and we will meet you later.
After we've ridden like 7 rides.
But we also don't rope drop.
No, it's...
we're there usually at 8.
Yeah, we would still say...
But we're not there for rope drop.
Go as early as you think is feasible and can, because you can get more done in there early.
We do recommend, getting there as close to opening time as possible. I would say if you can, get there before 9. But if you can't rope drop, that's not the end of the world.
Yeah, because especially now with like no early entry, it could be potentially great to rope drop, but it's not necessary. Like, you don't have to get up that early.
Speaking of rope dropping, people always say that we always hear people say that the rides that you need to rope drop are either Peter Pan, Rise of the Resistance, or Radiator Springs Racers.
And those are the only ones people say.
And those are the only, like, you just have, that's the only way you're going to get a short late is if you go there very first thing. Well, guess what? We've said this so many times. Everyone else is getting the same advice, and that's what everyone else is doing.
If you are standing and holding to the rope, then perhaps you could do Peter Pan. Often, Rise of the Resistance doesn't open with the park, and often
and you don't know that unless you're right next to the rope, and then they tell the people, like, hey, by the way, Rise is not open.
So then you're like, crap.
And yeah, he said the same thing about Radiator Springs.
If you are the first one for Peter Pan, you will have a short wait. But if you're at rope drop and you're not at the front of the section, it'll be a wait.
If you are number 75 or 100 waiting for Peter Pan, you're still going to have quite a bit of a wait.
It's going to be about the same.
And that's why what we tell people is at Disneyland, what I honestly would suggest, even Space Mountain's not the greatest option. Go either to the west side of the park, like do Indy or Thunder or Haunted Mansion or Pirates, or what no one else does. And I hear people all the time now that they say, let's rope drop Peter Pan and then we'll go and do Mickey and Minnie's.
Go to Mickey and Minnie's then.
Other way around.
Yeah.
Go to Mickey and Minnie's first. No one is heading up there first thing in the morning.
It's so far.
It's not, and it seems so far away.
And like Rise of the Resistance isn't far. It's at the other end of the park.
And that's the thing. Like, you actually have to go further to get to Rise of the Resistance than Mickey and Minnie's.
So true.
Go to Mickey and Minnie's first, and then turn around and go to Peter Pan, and you're like, well, it already has a line. It's the same length of line as it was before.
And
you're not missing anything.
If you do rope drop, make sure you use the app because it is 99% of the time accurate as to what is open at that exact moment. So then you can kind of like dart to one and change your plans. Indy is definitely a good one because it's always busy otherwise. But
for California Adventure, I would recommend Guardians of the Galaxy has had good reviews for rope dropping.
Yep.
And then
Spider-Man
is pretty good for rope dropping. Monsters Inc. is good. Soarin' is a good option.
Soarin's almost always open.
Because people forget that it's there.
Yeah.
But then the reason we don't say Incredicoaster or Toy Story Midway Mania is because they don't always open with the park. Yeah. And so it's hard to say. But you don't have to do just those three unless you happen to be like right there, being like the rope is cutting off your breathing because people are pushing behind you and you can't go past the rope.
Yes.
Then sure.
Maybe. Another piece of advice I've heard of a little bit, not a lot, but people will say don't spend time eating at sit-down restaurants, especially because it wastes time. I wouldn't say
part of the
like
experience.
Yeah, it's part of the experience, and depending on which restaurant you could, if it's kind of like a splurge for you, it's also a good way to just relax.
Yeah.
Because if you try to go for the 14 hours or 15 hours the park's open, you will get burned out. I mean, if you just have one day, then go for it. But yeah, it's not a waste of time. It's still probably a good idea to bring some snacks and some food, especially if you have a bunch of little ones. Just so you can like save a little bit of money, but don't think that that's like a waste of time.
Yeah, we would never say that at all. Another thing I hear so many people say is they insinuate usually that if you don't get Lightning Lane multi-pass for every day of your trip, then you're not going to get anything done. And that really couldn't be further from the truth. Yes, it's going to be a little bit more.
It's a little better.
If you get it, you are going to get more done. I will say that.
Yes.
But if you don't get it, that in no way means that you're not going to get anything done, because you will. It's just going to take a little bit more planning, and it's hard to put. How do I put this? Yes, it's helpful.
Yes,
but
and there are rides.
They make it sound like you're not going to get anything done if you don't do this.
There are rides that it's very, very helpful, like Matterhorn, Space. Guardians. Make sure also, we've heard so many people in line when we're in line with people at like 8:15 and they're like, hey, do you want to go on Space right now? It's for right now. Well, there's also no wait. So like make sure you plan your lightning lanes accordingly to make it worth the money.
But do not feel like you have to get it.
You do not have to.
You don't have to get it at all, but especially you don't have to get it for every day of your trip.
You could do it just a couple of days.
Like pick 1 or 2 days if you need to.
Yep. This used to be bad advice.
We still hear some people say it,
they probably don't know how it works now. They say get a wheelchair or an EV because you'll get to skip all the lines. No.
Nope.
You kind of were able to maybe 10 years ago, but it was
So 10,
iffy.
10, 15 years ago, it used to be that if you were in a wheelchair, they would let you, for the most part, just go through the exit of pretty much every line. And that was how they accommodated people in wheelchairs.
And then people started abusing it, I guess. Or
100% they started abusing it. And then they also realized that actually a lot of their lines can accommodate wheelchairs in the line. And so there are very few lines now where a wheelchair has to enter through the exit.
Yep. You often can still go in, and then there might be a point at which you branch off from the rest of the line. But
no, it's either at the beginning or it's you either go through the whole thing with the line or it's at the beginning.
I was thinking like when you're loading for the ride or stuff, isn't there?
Oh, I thought you meant like halfway through the line.
No, like
oh no, that's still going through the whole line though.
That's true.
And yes, like he was mentioning, you also, if this is, you're saying like, oh, this is where we're gonna skip the line. You're also part of the problem. You're why they had to make so many changes because they knew people were just getting a wheelchair even though they didn't need it.
Yep.
So
that is not a true thing anymore.
And then, as Dan wrote down, "Don't do porcelain shoes has to be Ewok."
Yep, that's exactly what I wrote. Or people sometimes say, "There's no fireworks tonight." Well, I'm not going to go see the projection show because that's stupid.
Porcelain shoes
or porcelain shoes. The projection's still really cool.
Porcelain.
Go away. If you're right by the castle, which is a lot easier to do because not as many people wait for it, you get they often still have Baymax and Tinkerbell flying. Most of the time they do, so it's super cool. If you're on Main Street and there's no scrim going on, then the projections on the buildings it's just a fun immersive atmosphere. So I've just heard some people say, not necessarily like giving advice, but they're like, oh, well, now what's the point of even being here? Let's go home.
They don't go for the fireworks, then they may as well skip the show. And I'm like, actually anymore, they design the shows to where the fireworks are great. Yeah. They're not required.
And they are really cool and they're timed amazingly with the music, but you don't have to have them.
It'll also because then if they do have to cancel for the weather and you already have it in your mind that this is only worthwhile if there's fireworks and they have to cancel them, then you're just like, oh, then we may as well go back to the hotel room. No, it's still going to be a good show.
Yeah.
In fact, remember no, it's not. How do I word this? The show in Galaxy's Edge, it's mostly about the projections.
Yeah,
there is a projection show.
Yep, there's another projection show, and then there's
that's the Shadows of Memory. That's just the projection show.
And then the Rising Moons or whatever it's
Fire of the Rising Moons. Yeah. That one's fireworks, and that one I imagine they still do it even if they don't have the fireworks going on. Probably.
Most of the time, they only do the fireworks on like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just to be aware.
Or other major holidays.
Yeah, big holidays.
And then a huge one we hear people say all the time is that you have to stay on property. That is a Walt Disney World thing.
Yes. Walt Disney World, probably.
We would really stand behind that at Disney World. But Disneyland, no.
Especially now that there's no early entry.
And yes, we know we stay there all the time. We've gone through this. We're DVC. It's actually cheaper for us to stay.
We already pay for the points, so why am I paying extra for a room?
But that's the only reason why we do it. Because honestly, if you want to stay at the Disneyland Resort Hotel,
it's great. They're very fun. They're convenient to be close. But there are a lot of great options off property, especially very close, that can save you money and still be a great experience.
Yeah. So again, have to stay on property? No. Pick the one that's going to be best for you, and that's it.
Our last piece of advice, bad advice people give is, well, why are you going to Disneyland for more than a couple of days? There's nothing to do. Or it's often people who are used to Disney World or from the East. They're like,
I don't even know if it's that necessarily.
No, not even. Yeah, not always that. But because at Disney World, sure, yeah, you can go for a 7 to 10 day trip easily and always have stuff to do. I wouldn't say
at Disneyland they see it since it's only 2 parks and they're physically smaller. You must run out of things to do after 2 days.
No.
And I think that's their idea is surely you've run out of things to do.
Yeah, I wouldn't go for a 7 to 10 day Disneyland trip.
No.
But 3 days, you can get so much done.
I'd say 3 to 4 is ideal.
Yeah, I think 3 is actually a great
My
trip.
favorite is 4.
Yeah.
Because with 4, I just don't feel like I'm rushed.
No, and
that's
you go
what
back
I love.
and swim at the pool and still feel like, we'll still get all the stuff done.
I mean, to give you an example, when we went to Hong Kong Disneyland, they don't sell anything above a 2-day ticket, and we went for 3 days. And I know that they were like, what,
why
really?
Yeah.
Because we had to buy 2-day tickets and then a 1-day ticket.
Yep.
But that was also because it made it easier for us because we didn't feel like we were rushing around the whole time.
Especially when it was 700 degrees with 300% humidity.
My gosh. We were going to die.
We were going to die many, many times.
If you had been a fly on the wall watching us,
my gosh.
waiting to get, because it was it was worse in the morning because there was absolutely no shade in the Esplanade.
The air was so stagnant.
And we were about to kill each other every single morning. And it was just because of the heat. We just couldn't take it
There was
anymore.
a lot of anger issues.
In fact, I remember the very first morning we go in and Dan's like, don't you want a picture in front of the Main Street station? I said, no, I need to get in a line. I need to get indoors, keep the air moving on me. We'll do this picture another time. So the picture we have of it is from the third day.
Plus, many of the pictures we have from Hong Kong Disneyland.
We are glistening.
We're glistening, and the picture itself is all like through fog because the lenses have either fogged up or it's just so sweaty and gross.
So it really helped that we were there for 3 days because we could enjoy it, actually.
Yeah.
We could take the time, do things that cooled us off, and enjoy ourselves.
Remember, especially if you're an East Coast or a Disney World fan, the Disneyland park has about double the amount of rides as the Magic Kingdom does, and the ones that are the same between them are better done at Disneyland and often longer. So it takes more time. They're just better to be able to experience them multiple times.
And then for everyone else, it's just a matter of like the whole reason we bring up the Hong Kong trip is just because don't put yourself in a box where you feel like you have to get everything done in 2 days, and if you don't,
very
then
stressful,
you've wasted your
or
time.
even just one day. Like
if you're thinking 2 days will be perfect. That's long enough. Like, can I interest you in a third? Just try it for 3, and I think you'll find that the nice thing is you get to redo some of your favorites multiple times.
Yep,
which is great.
And often we do trips like we usually 4 is kind of our general thing.
Yeah,
but we don't like try to fly in at like 4 a.m. the first day and then fly out at like midnight the last day. We can still have 2 full days, but then 2 like kind of half days.
And we know that it helps that we have Magic Keys, and so
that does
we're not paying for each day. And so I know that's going to be a little bit different for other people. But honestly, my preferred, I tell people, is 3 to 4 days. And I know people who I would go for 5 days. I wouldn't go every single trip for 5 days.
No.
But I would go for 5 days, but those are days where I'm like, okay, pool time.
Yep.
And
or
then
go to the beach one of the days.
Go to several table service restaurants.
Yep.
See all the shows. See some of the shows a couple times.
I do hear people going for like 5-day Southern California trips. Like they'll go up to Universal for a day.
No, I was talking specifically of Disneyland.
No, but I think 3 is personally my favorite amount of time. But
4 is my favorite, but at 3 is good too.
Yep.
Honestly, it is. So that's where we stand. And I know that we're not saying never go for 1 or 2 days, but what we're saying is don't feel like it should only ever be 2 days and no more than
because
that.
Quote unquote, there's only 2 parks. Like what could we possibly do? There's a lot.
Yeah, and also some of them might be thinking about Universal, where I'm like, I don't really know what you do beyond a day. I'm not sure. Especially Universal Hollywood, not Florida. Yeah. I think you just spend several days in Florida, but Universal Hollywood, like, I don't know what you do beyond a day. Anyway, so that's...
Stand in long lines unless you pay their $7 billion pass.
Honestly, the last time we went there, if we hadn't paid for that pass, we would still be in line for the...
Right now, still.
For the studio tour.
Yes.
The tram tour. Anyway, so that's some of the worst advice that we've ever heard people give, and we hope that you don't follow that advice. And again, we're not saying that people who feel this way are inherently wrong. Like Dan was saying at the very, very beginning, it's just these are blanket statements, and we don't feel that it is true in every situation.
Yep.
So that's why we wanted to kind of clear the air on those things and make sure you understood.
There's probably some stuff we missed.
Yeah, let us know if there's other advice that you've heard that you're like,
Yeah, don't do that.
There's some other smaller things I'm thinking of that I've heard people say, but we don't need to get into those things in this episode. We can I think we've done them in the past on other things, so we don't need to worry so much about it. But with all of that, hopefully this helps you as you're planning your trip. Make sure that if you haven't done so yet, use the link in our description to book with our friends at Getaway Today. They do have a lot of really good specials still going on to save a lot of money. I think they've actually just been continuing with the adult and kids prices.
I
don't know why not, because it's a good deal.
It's a good deal.
And remember, they can help you with planning your tickets or your hotel or both. So, use them. Way to support us as well.
Yep. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and DM us through Instagram if you have questions.
I mean, actually, if you DM us through Facebook, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
But
we often don't see it.
Not as fast. And then make sure that you subscribe to the podcast to get new episodes as they drop. Like we mentioned, we are going to be in Disneyland
next week,
Sunday through Wednesday.
So next week will be
next week's going to be trip recap.
Trip recap with friends.
If you are in the parks during that time, remember you can say hi.
Yes.
We're fine with it.
If we're with the other friends, we may not be moving at 100 miles an hour. I don't know how fast they move.
I thought they moved fast.
They might.
They're all...
But don't...
They all move the same speed as we do.
If we look like we're going to mow people over and should not be stopped, don't worry. You can still stop us.
We're just... If you're like, you seem like you're on a mission. Well, we are. But that doesn't mean we can't be distracted.
We're always on a mission. But, yeah.
So, anyway, that's it for this week. And then we'll see you guys next week. And that's it.
Bye.
Bye.